This is the story that changed the entire galaxy forever.
For nearly a year, the quietest corner of Orion Station belonged to one mysterious visitor. Every 30 days, an elite alien warship docked without ceremony. From it stepped Commander Lyra, the legendary warrior who had never lost a battle. Soldiers across the galaxy saluted her with pride. Enemies feared hearing her name. Yet every visit followed the same strange routine. Without speaking a single word, she walked into a small repair workshop owned by a human engineer named Ethan Carter. She carefully removed her silver-blue battlesuit and placed it on the workbench. No greeting, no questions, only silence. Ethan had repaired thousands of military suits, but Lyra's armor puzzled him. Each month the damage became worse. Deep plasma burns, crushed chest plates, hairline fractures around the life support core. But what disturbed him most was that the damage always came from the inside. It looked as if someone inside the armor had absorbed unbearable impacts. One afternoon, while polishing the cracked shoulder plate, Ethan quietly whispered, "Armor doesn't break like this unless it's protecting someone who refuses to stop fighting." For the first time in 11 months, Commander Lyra slowly raised her eyes toward him. She said nothing, but for a single second, her cold expression almost disappeared. Then she silently picked up the repaired armor and walked away. Ethan watched her leave with only one thought. "What are you hiding, Commander?" Commander Lyra disappeared for another month. Ethan couldn't stop thinking about the strange damage hidden inside her battlesuit. When she returned, the armor looked even worse. The chest plate was cracked. The left shoulder reactor was barely functioning, and the life support core had nearly failed. As Ethan carefully opened the armor, a small metal capsule slipped onto the floor. It wasn't listed in the official military design. Curious, he activated it. A holographic medical report appeared in the air. Warning: neural damage, 82%. Estimated survival time, less than 1 year. Ethan froze. The strongest commander in the galaxy was slowly dying. Even more shocking was the final line of the report. Medical treatment refused by Commander Lyra. She had rejected every chance to save herself. Not because there was no cure, but because the experimental treatment required leaving the battlefield for almost a year. She had chosen her soldiers over her own life. Just then, Lyra quietly walked into the workshop. She saw the hologram. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Ethan asked softly, "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Lyra looked away. "A commander who cannot stand cannot lead. If my soldiers knew the truth, they would stop believing they could win." Ethan lowered his head. He finally understood. She wasn't hiding weakness. She was carrying the entire galaxy's hope alone. As Lyra prepared to leave, Ethan stopped her. "Commander, next time you come here, don't just bring your armor. Bring your pain, too." For the first time in years, a faint smile almost appeared on Lyra's face. But Ethan had already made a decision. He wasn't going to repair her armor anymore. He was going to save the woman inside it. 3 weeks later, emergency alarms echoed across every military station in the Orion Alliance. A classified distress signal had arrived from the Vargos Nebula. 200 civilian children had been captured by the ruthless Karen Empire. The enemy had surrounded the entire sector with thousands of automated defense drones. Every strategist reached the same conclusion. No rescue team can survive that battlefield. The High Council voted to abandon the mission, but before the meeting ended, Commander Lyra quietly stood up. "If no one else will bring them home, I will." The council protested. "Commander, your body is failing. One more battle could kill you." Lyra simply placed her helmet on her head. "Then I will die doing what I promised my people." Hours later, her lone warship entered the Vargos Nebula. Hidden inside her repaired battle armor, Ethan had secretly installed a prototype energy core powered by human technology. He never told Lyra. He only left one small message inside the armor's operating system. Heroes shouldn't have to fight alone. As enemy battleships opened fire, thousands of plasma missiles rushed toward Lyra. Suddenly, a brilliant blue energy shield exploded around her armor. The impossible happened. The human-made shield absorbed every direct hit. Enemy commanders stared at their scanners in disbelief. "Impossible! No alien technology can generate a shield this powerful." Using the brief opening, Lyra charged straight through the blockade. She destroyed the prison generators, opened every security gate, and rescued all 200 children. But as the last transport escaped, a massive enemy flagship fired its ultimate plasma cannon. The blast struck Lyra directly. The shield shattered. Her armor cracked from shoulder to waist. Warning lights filled her helmet. Life support critical. Reactor failure 91%. Her ship began falling toward the surface of a dead moon. Millions across the galaxy watched the live transmission, believing they had just witnessed the death of their greatest commander. The entire galaxy fell silent. News channels broadcast only one message. Commander Lyra is missing. Rescue fleets searched the dead moon for 3 days. No signal, no movement, no hope. Then, a faint emergency beacon appeared beneath the moon's frozen surface. Without waiting for military permission, Ethan boarded a small human rescue ship and flew straight into the dangerous storm. The Alliance commanders tried to stop him. "You'll never survive down there," Ethan answered calmly. "She spent years saving strangers. It's my turn to save her." His small ship crashed through ice and burning debris before reaching the wreckage of Lyra's fighter. Inside, Commander Lyra was still alive. Her breathing was weak. Her armor had completely failed. The life support system flashed its final warning. 10, 9, 8. Without hesitation, Ethan removed the portable fusion core from his own rescue suit. It was the only thing keeping him alive in the freezing environment. He connected it to Lyra's armor. Immediately, her heartbeat returned. The armor slowly came back online, but Ethan's own suit began shutting down. The freezing wind rushed inside. Ice formed across his gloves and face. Lyra slowly opened her eyes. For the first time, she saw someone risking everything for her. A single tear rolled down her cheek. In a trembling voice, she whispered, "Why, would you do this for me?" Ethan smiled despite the cold. "Because every hero deserves someone who refuses to give up on them." For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Then Lyra reached out and held Ethan's freezing hand. She had faced countless battles without fear. But this was the first time. Someone had fought to save her. Together, they activated the rescue beacon. Minutes later, Alliance ships broke through the storm and lifted them both into the sky. Across the galaxy, billions watched the live rescue. Even hardened soldiers wiped tears from their eyes. On that day, the galaxy didn't remember Commander Lyra as the greatest warrior. They remembered the human engineer, who reminded everyone that true strength is not measured by winning battles, but by refusing to leave someone behind. A week later, the Grand Hall of the Galactic Alliance was filled with silence. Representatives from more than 500 alien civilizations had gathered for a special ceremony. For centuries, the Alliance honored only great warriors, but this time, the highest medal in galactic history would be given to someone who had never fired a weapon, a human engineer, Ethan Carter. As he walked into the hall, thousands of soldiers stood and saluted him. Commander Lyra, now wearing a newly rebuilt silver-blue battlesuit, stepped onto the stage. The scars on her face were still there, but she no longer tried to hide them. She looked at the crowd and spoke with a voice heard across the entire galaxy. "For years, everyone believed I was the one protecting humanity." She paused, then smiled. "The truth is, humanity was protecting me." The hall fell completely silent. Lyra turned toward Ethan. "You repaired more than my armor. You repaired my hope." She gently removed the Star of Eternal Valor, the Alliance's highest military honor, from her own uniform. No one had ever surrendered that medal voluntarily. She pinned it onto Ethan's jacket. The crowd erupted into thunderous applause. Even rival empires lowered their flags in respect. At that moment, the Galactic Council made a historic announcement. From this day forward, every Alliance rescue mission will follow the human protocol. Its first rule was engraved in every military academy across the galaxy. No one gets left behind. Months later, Ethan returned to his small repair workshop. Nothing had changed. The tools were still scattered across the bench. The old coffee mug still sat beside the welding torch. Then the workshop door opened. Commander Lyra walked in, not carrying broken armor, not carrying pain, only carrying 2 cups of coffee. She smiled warmly. "I was wondering, would you repair something else today?" Ethan laughed. "What's broken now?" Lyra looked into his eyes. "My schedule. I finally have a day off. The two walked outside together as the twin suns rose over Orion Station. For the first time in hundreds of days, Commander Lyra wasn't thinking about war. She was thinking about tomorrow. And across the galaxy, billions remembered one simple truth. Humanity's greatest weapon was never its technology. It was its compassion. The end.